doesn't get much bigger than this, and this looks an awful lot like the first fight. They are going at it immediately. I didn't even have time to tell people that Michaela Mayer has joined us in the commentary booth.
Oof, these women are going for it. Big overhand rights by both at the same time.
Michaela, you pointed this out earlier that we would probably see exchanges like that that look reminiscent of that first fight. Apologies for the technical difficulties with Michaela's microphone. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Cruz Dezern applying pressure here in the early going. Michaela, I hate to make you do that all over again, but now you have a working microphone.
Did we fix it? Okay, there we go. But what I was saying, no, I knew because of the build-up and because of what went down at weigh-ins that, if anything, we were going to get a really exciting first round, and I hope it keeps up. I like that Franchon came right out to the center of the ring, pushed Claressa up against the ropes. Can't she do that for all 10 rounds?
Oh!
Unloading right hands in both directions right now.
But if you pay attention, different than the first fight, Claressa is really picking her spots. She's much more precise than she was in that fight 10 years ago.
That big right hand from Claressa Shields coming right over the top. A second ago, you saw Franchon roll it out. That was an adjustment I wanted to see her make. She can't continue to take Claressa's right hand. She's got to continue to roll, get on the angle, come back, or get her head off the line when she meets her with the same shot.
The issue in exchanges is the hand speed. Claressa Shields has much quicker hands.
Big left hook by Shields and a right hand behind it in what has been a firefight of an opening round.
Big four-punch combination from Claressa.
Back live here in Detroit, Michigan, and what an action-packed opening round.
And right at the first bell, Franchon came forward and pinned Claressa against the ropes. But Claressa was very smart here. She was staying low, going under, picking her shots very, very smartly, landing the cleaner blows. And there at the end of the round, you saw unloading with both hands. Excellent opening round for both these ladies, especially Claressa.
Franchon's being aggressive, but you have to be careful not to get caught in between the exchanges with that left hook. Of course, has been very successful with that left hook right over the top, countering Franchon in the middle of her combinations.
Found a good left hook to the body as well. And Chris Mannix, you alluded to this in the opening round, but when Claressa can kind of reduce a fight to a series of timing races like this, she is very difficult to get the best of as she backs Cruz Dezern up.
And Chris Mannix, you said it best, Claressa Shields is a very high punch count, and she's very fast. 4 girls at this weight class. A lot of the girls in this division can't keep up with that work rate. Franchon will throw 3, and Claressa Shields will come back with 5 or 6 punches.
Yeah, I said at the very top, I don't love the idea of Franchon coming in trying to exchange with Claressa Shields. That's exactly what the 4 rounds of the first fight looked like. Claressa's hand speed is just superior. Her punch output, like Michaela, you said, is going to be more significant. She's got to fight behind that jab. I don't mind her being physical, pressing Claressa against the ropes, but
well, there's that jab right there that you're talking about. It stops her. It stops Claressa Shields from coming in. And sometimes maybe it's too easy, so people get away from it. Claressa sometimes get away from that jab, but she loves that right hand so much. But Franchon's got to keep that jab in her face to stop her from landing that big one too.
No, she's got Buddy McGirt in the corner, and nobody talks about the jab more than Buddy McGirt.
The last 30 or 40 seconds is in microcosm what Franchon should be doing. She needs to bring it down to single shots back and forth, use her body to be physical, so Claressa cannot let those combinations go, because that hand speed is really on display here.
Yeah, straight down the middle. Claressa has looping shots a lot of the time, so the way you beat looping shots is you go right down in between them. That's how they're going to get there a lot faster. Franchon's got to keep that jab straight down the pipe and time that right hand right down the middle.
Oh, good overhand chopping right from Franchon Cruz. And it came off. And came off that jab.
One final right hand from Cruz Dezern as well. A nice bounce back there from the heavy-hitting diva as the crowd is going wild here in the Motor City. Two fighters, 100 fights. The Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, travels to London to face Garrick Chisora in their 50th professional fight, respectively. Will the Bomb Squad ignite the O2, or will Del Boy have a couple tricks up his sleeve? Make sure you don't miss the 100, Saturday, April 4th.
Great action there in round 2. Early in the round, it looked a lot like round 1, where Franchon was coming in very aggressive with the nice precision counter-punching of Shields on display.
Yeah, Franchon's got to try to avoid those kind of spurts. Those are the kind of things that can rack up points, change the punch stats, really put her behind the 8 ball. She's got to stick that jab and keep this fight on the outside.
And make it ugly on the inside.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be in exchanges.
And I will say, Michaela, if we're looking for signs of hope for Franchon here, there's only a handful of opponents that Shields has had who have even been able to make adjustments at all. And we did see Cruz Dezern make some of them in that second round.
Yeah, we are seeing her make adjustments, and we're seeing her keep up the work rate. You know, she's not necessarily matching the punch count that Clarissa has, but she's doing better than a lot of Clarissa's opponents, and she's still game, she's still coming forward. Usually I would say push Clarissa Shields against the anyone. I would say push your opponent against the ropes. You know, it's not good when your back is on the ropes, and it looks good when you're the one pushing them against it. But Clarissa does so well against the ropes. And Franchon tends to fall in and get countered. So I'd like to see her keep it in the center of the ring and just keep the combination simple.
All right, Chris Mannix, how is this looking to you so far? How do you have it scored?
I had it 1-1 to start the game. I gave Franchon Cruz Dezern that last round in the basis of the final, maybe a minute or so. Sticking that jab, landing some decent right hands. 1-1 so far, but a good round I'm looking at here in the third by Clarissa Shields.
Shields just getting that right hand free to land a chopping right hand there on the inside with a hard body shot in that sequence as well.
Good counter 1-2 from Franchon.
Yeah, gives ground and then lands a good counter as a result.
All of Franchon's success comes off the jab first. The lead jab is what's setting up the right hands that she lands.
Yep, start with the jab and finish with the jab.
Ooh. Yeah, when she lunges in with the overhand shot, Clarissa sees it coming, and they get it tangled up.
These exchanges, Clarissa Shields has shown some real heavyweight power. 2 fights earlier, she knocked down Daniel Perkins in the last round of that fight, so she's got some pop with these heavier weights.
Cruz Dezern might have felt some of those shots, those machine gun combinations off the ropes, the same ones that knocked out Vanessa Lepage-Joannis. Cruz Dezern stands up to them, and the crowd stands on its feet.
Yo.
Another round that started out well for Cruz Dezern, but almost as if Shields felt it slipping away, really poured it on at the end of the round, even while fighting off the ropes, landing the cleaner, sharper punches, and putting a big right hand over the top right at the end of the round.
And she is sitting down on these hooks.
She's a much better puncher at heavyweight.
I was just going to say that I think she really found her power moving up in weight. I think that last 30 seconds in that round, Franchon definitely felt some of those shots.
Seeing Franchon's face starting to show the wear of those heavyweight punches.
This is the kind of pace I think that Clarissa Shields can fight at for 10 rounds. I'm not convinced yet that Franchon Cruz Dezern can.
If you pay attention to Clarissa in between rounds, she's really focused on her breathing, getting her heart rate back down so she can go out and perform at this high level once again, each and every time. Oh, good right hand counter from the outside there by Shields.
Well, Chris, going back to your point about Shields' power at heavyweight, one thing she pointed out in fighter meetings as well, this is the first time she's had 2 healthy shoulders in several fights.
I mean, the way that she's letting these hooks go off both hands, I wouldn't be surprised.
Coffee box totals through
nice slip
3
and rip.
rounds. Both women throwing bombs here. Shields already over 100 power punches thrown.
Yeah, Chris, to your point, the pace seems to be wearing much more on Cruz Dezern than it is Shields.
Yeah, it seemed like in the first 2 rounds, she kind of unloaded her arsenal. Now, just a little bit less of the output, whereas Claressa, that output's still there.
Oh my God.
3-4 punch combination there from Shields. Back comes Dezern with a short little right hand as well.
That right hand hook from Dezern, that's exactly what she needs to continue to throw and meet Claressa Shields as she's coming in, catch her in between her shots. Claressa's getting confident with that right hand. We always see there's a point in one of Claressa Shields' fights, that the turning point, where she really starts to feel that right hand and she starts to go for it. That's when Franchon is going to be successful with continuing the jab right down the center. Jab, double jab, then finish with the right hand and hook.
7 great fights all in one night. Moses Atauma and Jermaine Franklin headline a massive night of boxing from Manchester, England. Can Atauma be the first to stop Franklin, or can the American derail Atauma's meteoric rise? You can tune in Saturday, March 28th to find out here on DAZN.
Here we see Claressa Shields really getting her rhythm going in that last round, letting those hands fly with bad intentions.
And if you notice, Franchon Cruz Dezern on that right knee area, looks like she's got some kinesio tape wrapping it. We knew she took a bit of a fall at the weigh-in on Saturday. Maybe some minor injury there that she's dealing with going into this fight.
Yeah, we were told that Cruz Dezern visited a doctor this morning to look at her ankle and knee.
Oh, good
Nice
overhand right.
there from Shields. Back comes Cruz Dezern.
They're both throwing their head off the line when they're throwing that right hand.
Oh, beautiful body shot there. That slip and rip that Claressa does. She slips outside the right hand and takes that left hook to the liver. Thing of beauty. Yeah, to your point, they're both technically sound. Very, very sharp, great hand position, getting their head offline, like you said. Oh, beautiful stuff there from Shields.
And Michaela, the body language of Cruz Dezern really has changed over the last round and a half.
Yeah, Franchon has a tendency when she gets in, she kind of smothers her punches and ties up instead of dropping her knees and digging down to the body. She would have a lot more success if she let her combinations go to the head and then started to roll and dig to the body, but instead she's there for Claressa's counter. And it's hard to get away with it when Franchon throws 3 punches and Claressa Shields comes back with 8 or 9.
And if indeed Cruz Dezern is working with a draining battery here, Mannix, these body shots that Shields is focusing on here in the 5th, they're not helping that.
Yeah, I love that little slip, left hook to the body. She's done that 3 times in this round.
Big right hands coming from Claressa. That was the 3rd one in a row. That one landed between us.
And another one right over the top as the seconds tick away here in the 5th. The momentum swinging heavily in favor of the Gwoat. from Claressa Shields as we're back to action here in the 6th round. You can hear the drums in between rounds, and guys, this really is a special atmosphere here too. And there's something to be said about that Shields home field advantage in Detroit. It sounds different. There's a vibe here in this arena that is different from most fighters in boxing today as Shields piling up the jabs. Chris Mannix, how do you have the score so far?
Yeah, I've got Claressa Shields firmly in control now, 49-46. Thought the first 2 rounds were competitive. A lot of back and forth in those first 2 rounds. Both fighters winging punches, but the gas tank of Claressa Shields is just far superior right now. She seems fresh. Her combinations are sharp, and it just feels like there's a different look on the face of Franchon Cruz-Dezurn over these last 2 rounds. So 49-46 on my scorecard.
The more that Franchon has gotten away from the jab, the more we're seeing Claressa Shields walking her down, coming in the front door, and unloading with combinations off great balance.
And a good jab. I expect her to come out this round, Claressa Shields, and start loading up out that right hand because I know she's getting confidence. But she started him off really good jab, staying behind the jab.
That was
again, another great jab.
Saw the CompuBox totals a moment ago. Another big right hand there from Shields. Shields at that point.
Oh my God.
Outlanded Cruz-Dezurn 112-62. And those numbers are climbing right now as Shields is putting it all together here in the 6th.
Oh, bro, it's hot.
Got to think that the referee and the corner is looking very closely at Cruz-Dezurn here. She's getting hit with a lot of leather.
A lot of it is the foot balance too. You see Claressa, she's able to throw 5, 6, 7, 8 punches because her feet stay underneath her.
She never breaks position.
She doesn't, and more so than I've ever seen her actually. Her feet are really impressive in this fight. Franchon tends to throw a few punches but then fall in with it and she can't counter or come back.
Fan zone, 90% of which is in favor of Claressa Shields right now.
I like to meet the 10%. They, DMV area? Who's voting for that 10%?
I think it's a good guess. Round 7 underway of this undisputed heavyweight world title fight. The champion, Claressa Shields, taking on the unified super middleweight champion, Franchon Cruz-Dezurn. And the Gwoat, as tends to happen in her fights, is starting to pull away in a big way.
Cruz-Dezurn is as game as they come. Keeps coming out, trying to establish that jab once again.
Yeah, to that point, I think Cruz-Dezurn has gotten a reputation of being a sloppy fighter, but I think that this fight shows she's made a lot of adjustments on that end. She's landing cleaner shots, a lot more technically sound. I don't see her falling in as much as she used to. But one thing I really would like, what I think would help her nullify Claressa Shields' attacks is turning. You know, you don't want to stand right in front of someone like Claressa Shields because she'll unleash for 8 or 9, 10 punches. So Franchon Cruz-Dezurn should be turning, should be staying on an angle, punching, rolling out, not standing right in front of her to be hit.
Well, and Michaela, we talked about this before, the familiarity between these two, right? And you pointed out, Franchon every once in a while could do something to break Claressa's momentum, but the question is, does she have the energy left to do that consistently down the stretch?
Yeah, I said this is going to be had to be a very disciplined fight for Franchon Cruz to win. You know, she'll have to stay disciplined for the entire 10 rounds and stick to the game plan.
Between the pace and the body work by Shields, you just see the energy level of Cruz-Dezurn going down and down each round. Good body shot again. Really tricky shot there, that left hook to the liver. Nice shot there by Franchon, lands a left hook upstairs.
Heavy hitting diva still sneaking a shot in.
That's what I mean by being game. She's still punching with Claressa even though she can't keep up with the hand speed.
She ain't worried about the goddamn fight. She's vibing.
Well, not that they needed any encouragement here, but Claressa Shields firing the crowd up even more as round 8 begins. Chris Mannix, how do you have this one scored so far?
Yeah, 69-64. Pretty easy fight to score over these last 5 rounds. Just too much activity, too much accuracy from Claressa Shields. I think Franchon's trying out there. She's still landing some decent shots in between these punches, but we're looking at like a 4-5 to 1 accuracy gap right now for Claressa Shields. 69-64 on my part.
And Michaela Shields starting to really double up on that left hook as well, go from body to head.
I was just going to say, we know she has a big right hand, and usually when you're coming up with a game plan for a fighter, you see where are they the strongest, and you move away from that power shot. But Claressa is throwing power shots from both hands right now. She's flipping, throwing body to head of her left hook, and then she's letting that big right hand over the top. And it's confusing Franchon on which way to go. But standing right in front isn't any better. You got to pick a side, stay on the angles, and keep turning.
To your point, Michaela, this is the most complete version of Claressa Shields that I've ever seen when it comes to the jab, the left hand, the right hands, and the positioning. The positioning game that she's playing has been excellent tonight.
Sitting down the punches, you can see the influence of a John David Jackson on Claressa Shields. John David Jackson preaches power punches. We had a fighter like Sergey Kovalev. It's taken some time, but Claressa's really developing some real pop in her shots.
Gwoat just switched to a lefty stance to throw that overhand left.
Super bad-esque.
Both times. Fuck.
If I caught it right.
Body shot again there from Shields. Shoe shine to the body, climbs the ladder up top.
Whenever she hears that 10-second marker, she fires a combination.
Big right hand over the top. We saw some blood coming from the mouth of Cruz DeZern as we head back to the stools. A British classic in the making. Fabio Wardley makes the first defense of his WBO heavyweight title against former IBF champion Daniel Dubois. Get ready for an epic night under the lights in Manchester. You can see it all live and exclusive here on DAZN Saturday, May 9th.
Good overhand right from Cruz DeZern, but right back does Shields come firing. And then another good left by Franchon. There's a nice counter there. See, when she's able to make a little bit of distance, she gets on that jab. That's where she has the most success, does Cruz DeZern.
Two to go here in our main event. Back on the jab in the opening seconds of the round. And, you know, Michaela, realistically, we're probably at a point for Cruz DeZern where she needs either a parade of knockdowns or a knockout. Do you see anything that maybe she could be doing to create an opening for something like that?
Well, yeah, at this point, whether you either got to get a knockout or you probably won't win the fight, but you still have to adjust. And right now, standing in front of Claressa Shields isn't the way to go. I think Franchon had a little bit of success in the first round or two when she was pushing Clarissa Shields back. Like, Clarissa Shields best if she can come forward and time you. Push her back, make it rough. Either that or get on your toes and box and move. But I just don't think standing in front of her, you're not gonna match her that way.
Great shoulder movement, upper body rhythm shown by Shields. Consistently slipping and ripping and firing off these shots, getting back to that jab. When she's on that jab, she's really difficult to deal with.
Well, and Chris, we're seeing a pattern here too. Even as Cruz Dezern is trying to apply pressure coming behind her jab, Shields is able to throw second and third. So she can counter and then come right back and back Cruz Dezern up.
It's her base. She doesn't break position when she's being defensive in front of you.
Yeah, and Franchon jab can't be a lazy jab. It can't be a soft jab because you'll see Clarissa Shields come right over the top like she did with Danielle Perkins for that knockdown, the big overhand right. It's got to be a stiff, hard jab to stop her in her tracks.
Good attempt to the body there for Franchon Cruz Dezern with the left hand.
10 seconds of the round. This body work from Shields continues.
Shields slipping and ripping, offense and defense together.
2 minutes to go here in our main event.
Let's cheer them on as they enter the center of the ring, round 10.
10th and final round, 10 years later. And Clarissa Shields, much like she did in 2016, dominant here tonight against Franchon Cruz Dezern. Chris Mannix, I have an idea of how you have it scored. How do you have it scored?
Yeah, 89-82 for Clarissa Shields. Just been a complete paint job over these last 6 rounds. Dominance. Clarissa's accuracy has been on point. Franchon just has not been able to find an answer for that hand speed and that activity. 89-82, going to take something special in this last minute for Franchon Cruz Dezern to win this fight.
She's had a good opening minute in this last round, has Franchon. Give it a back, Shields against the rope, use her upper body, physically pin her down, and let body shots rip on both sides.
Yeah, she started the fight off like this in the first round. I think that's probably what she should have kept up throughout the mid-rounds, but then again, because she leans in, because she put her weight forward, she really can't get the leverage on the shots.
Yeah, it's not generating a lot of power there on the inside like that.
Good counter left hook there from Shields. Right back down to the body. Shields saying, come on, let's go for it in the closing 40 seconds. Oh. Big right hand over the top from Shields. Just clubbing away on Cruz Dezern.
Franchon's as tough as they come.
This bitch got a hand.
Yeah, you know Clarissa Shields gonna look for that big right hand. I know she wanted to finish this night with a knockout.
Ooh.
But Cruz Dezern is definitely one of the toughest girls.
That's the fight.
Their stories are forever intertwined, and they've given us a memorable final chapter.
She's talking shit still.
Friends again, perhaps. Michaela, this is nice to see.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see, and I knew I would see that. You know, after you lay it all on the line out there and do what you got to do, you're gonna embrace each other and have a little bit of respect. But some things that were said in this build-up, I don't think could ever be taken
Might
back.
not be able to take them back.
They will be
Right.
remembered.
Good to see them embraced nonetheless.
Whether they're ever friends again, they came together to make a really good fight.
They did. I don't know how tight their friendship will be from here on out. Maybe never get back to where it was, but again, you know, they did what they had to do for the sport, for women's boxing, for the fans.
Well, if you enjoyed that one, how about this all-Mexican duel in the desert? Emmanuel Navarrete and Eduardo Sugar Nunez put their super featherweight titles on the line at the Desert Diamond Arena in Arizona. Catch all the action next Saturday, live on DAZN. Chris Algieri, I know you're not going to be missing that one. Navarrete Nunez.
I don't miss any fight, especially that one. Two Mexicans, I'm in.
All right, looks like we are about ready to make this one official as we send it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. The judges are in agreement with a unanimous decision. All three judges scored about the same, 100 to 90. All three in favor of the winner. And still, the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the greatest woman of all time, Claressa Shields.
An emotional night for Claressa Shields as she puts on another dazzling performance here in this arena that she now calls her fighting home. You see the emotions on full display. You saw them on her face before the fight, and now the old friends come back together once more.
We gave them what they wanted. You cannot back